How's it going, everybody? Rob here, and whether you're listening to this as the audio podcast or watching it and still kind of listening, this is episode 2 of the NOVAKORP podcast, and I gotta say, it's been a while since I did the last one. A lot of things have been going on, and there's been a couple times where I should have gotten on this, but I haven't. But I'm gonna do my best to try to make this as frequent as possible. Just periodically trying to do episodes. So, man, I think, if anything, talk about IRL stuff, like IRL news, like what's going on with me as my phone goes off, as well as talk about stuff that, in a sense, could be news. As I progress trying to do this, I'm going to do my best to have this be a little bit more structured. But overall, I guess overall news, besides the world imploding, there's pretty much no news. Okay, granted, there's a lot of things going on currently in the world, but unfortunately, I don't want to, depress people with some of the things that are going on. And considering the fact that, with these episodes, I want to try to be as lighthearted as I possibly can, there's no reason for me to mention it whatsoever. Now, I will say, if I were to talk about myself, good lord, things have been interesting. In the event that some of you guys have watched on YouTube, my story video on discussing, overall discussing driving or being a grocery store driver, delivery person for particular stores, as you guys could probably guess which ones. Overall, it has, like it said in that video, it has its ups and downs. It's irritating in terms of dealing with some of the associates, especially when they don't want to do anything. But overall, it's good to make a little bit extra cash every once in a while to, take care of myself, take care of my wife, and so on. So, anyway, all in all, really good. Periodically, getting a chance to play a video game or two here and there. Recently got back into, as you guys have probably seen or have been on the channel long enough, at least for the YouTube side, you guys know that for a while I've played Destiny. Stopped playing it for a while, and then I got back into it. I don't know how I feel about it right now. I really don't. I want to say it's been interesting to try to get back into it, but there are times where I do question as to why I got back into it. It's a little bit irritating and frustrating, and so on and so on. But overall, ultimately it's been an experience. So, anyway, and I feel like this is going to be a short podcast. But that's okay. Like I said, as time progresses, I will try to make this as more structured as possible. Actually, now that I think about it, there was actually a piece of news that I heard, and I'm hoping it's actually true. So, apparently, CG Projekt Red was planning on releasing, don't fully quote me on it, but apparently this is what I heard, that after the longest time of, the game being out, they were planning on releasing new DLC for The Witcher 3. Which, I'll be honest, for those who know, I'm a huge freaking fan of Geralt and his story, especially with The Witcher 3. That game was so fucking good. in terms of storytelling. So, if they do it, you know, I'm going to be happy. I'm hoping they do it before The Witcher 4. But overall, I'm really, really excited. At least to hear more, if it is actually going to happen. So, anyway, with that out of the way, I think I should get into the anime that I decided to look into, or at least I wanted to talk about. And I will say this one was very, very interesting. This was MICHIKO and HATCHIN. You can find it on Crunchyroll. It is a very, very interesting anime. So, in terms of this anime, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of, like, the best way to describe it, because it really starts off with, like, the main character that you follow, MICHIKO, breaking out of prison. I mean, let's be honest here, like, that's a interesting way to start off the entire freaking show. Is this character breaking out of prison? Now, as the show progresses, the world, or at least the setting, is kind of in a, I want to say, best way I could think of it is almost like a South American, like, or like South American setting, or so far, like, where, like, if you were in, like, Brazil or Cuba or something like that. The character MICHIKO is supposedly a Afro-Brazilian woman, who, again, breaks out, like, right off the bat for this show, breaks out of prison to find someone. That person, of course, being Hana, who is an orphan girl who is abused by her adopted family, who are just, like, right off the bat, like, as you watch the show, like, the first moments with these characters, you realize they're all pieces of shit. And it gets to a point where, with everything, they treat poor Hannah poorly. They make her do all the chores. They beat her, abuse her. It's terrible. And I think one of the greatest moments, especially with, like, the first episode, is literally MICHIKO basically crashing into their fucking living room, kicking the shit out of the dad, who is like a priest who has a shotgun, and basically has Hannah come with her and saves her. I guess, and actually, ultimately, Hana was the person that she was looking for. Now, as the episodes continue, it's kind of implied that Hana is the daughter of MICHIKO's former lover, who may or may not be dead. Again, this is all in, like, the first, couple of episodes. And right off the bat, that's, like, MICHIKO's main focus, is trying to find this guy. Because she supposedly heard that he might still be alive, but there's a good chance he's not. Because he was supposedly in a bus when it was attacked, and he was possibly killed on the bus. So her main drive throughout the series is trying to find this guy, as well as, in a sense, kind of take care of Hana. Now, I'll be honest, in terms of like, and I haven't finished the show itself, but I gotta say right off the bat, a lot of the characters are fun to watch. They're interesting. The setting is interesting. It really sets up like characters and their backstories, like connections with other characters. Like there's this cop character that pops up every once in a while named Atsuko Jackson, who is a police officer. So while Michiko is a criminal, Atsuko is a police officer, and it's kind of implied that they knew each other during childhood. So it gets interesting because again, like there's so many characters that have backstory, and you kind of want to know every single one of them, and they're all interesting. Now, apparently, and I was doing a little bit of research, apparently this was supposedly based on a concept called, or a person, I believe, by the name of, hopefully I pronounce this right. If I don't, I apologize. Aliyah. And I guess Aliyah Donna Houghton was born in Brooklyn, New York. She was a African American descent with Native American heritage from her grandmother. Her father was of Jamaican heritage. And supposedly some of the story beats of Hatchin Michiko and Hatchin are loosely based on this individual. But going further, actually looking at, because I actually have the whole like sprue of like information, looking at an overview. So the character Michiko Malandro from the anime series Michiko and Hatchin is inspired by the late R&B singer Aliyah. The show's creator, Seiyo Yamamoto, modeled Michiko's design and overall aesthetic after Aliyah. Michiko is a strong, free-spirited Afro-Latina woman who, like Aliyah, is known for her beauty and fashion sense. So, there is some inspiration to that. So, the more you know. So, all in all, I will say, I still need to finish this show, but right off the bat, like in terms of some of the episodes I watched, it has been fun. Again, characters are interesting. I'm curious about this as a story about of everyone's backstories. I have like guesses already in terms of like how the story is going to go. Like for instance, in terms of the relationship between Michiko and Hatchin or Hana, I personally like watching the show, have my theory already that this entire time Michiko was actually Hana's mother. So I just got to continue the story. In fact, if anything, I may do follow-ups to the show itself, because right now, as far as I've gotten in this show, I've gotten to at least the 7th episode, and I still have... There's like 20 episodes. No, sorry. 22 episodes. I still got a ton of episodes I still need to watch. So, I'm really looking forward to watching more. Honestly, this show itself, and by the way, I want to point out that I want to say the feel that I get from this show in terms of like style, animation, and just everything. I want to say I kind of get more of a modernized version of, like, I hate to use this comparison because it's also a great show, but and then again, you know, Michiko and HATCHIN is such a great show too. It almost felt like Cowboy Bebop, but without, you know, the spaceships and so on, but kind of more down to earth, so to speak. So I enjoyed this show. I'm looking forward to watching more. This, for me personally, gets a watch it now. So anybody who is curious about it, go watch it. It's a lot. So as far as I've seen thus far, it has been a lot of fun. So anyway, I am really asking you guys, yeah, again, go check it out. It's a lot of fun to watch. So anyway, I think with that being said, oh, actually, one last thing I want to mention, because towards the beginning, if you can't handle kids being abused, then don't watch it, because there is a little bit of that towards the beginning. So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening and watching, depending on how you're taking part in this episode. If you guys can, especially on the YouTube side, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on all of our socials, we're on YouTube. It's everything's in the descriptions. If you guys want to follow our daily content, especially on the YouTube side, we do daily uploads or daily premieres as well as a weekly podcast. So with that being said, this is Rob of Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care. And we'll see you guys next time.